From the very beginning, we envisioned this event to be a beacon of growth and transformation, the Black Manosphere Conclave. Across 3 days, Black men will converge to retool themselves for the 21st century. We'll forge powerful business alliances, refine styles, amplify tech skills, and exchange life lessons unique to the Black male experience. Motivate, evolve, enlighten, and thrive. This, gentlemen, is the Black Manosphere Conclave. Welcome to the elite.
Some women are mad at me because I said that women keep focusing on tall, dark, and handsome with a big 6 figures, and they're passing up the good guy, the nice guy that wants to take you out. Why should we have to settle, Kendra? We should have somebody on our level. Well, let me share with you guys some data. Information that I can confirm from hosting a dating show for the last 3 years. Looking for a relationship. Most of these women want committed relationships. Out of those 100 women, I may get 10 men. So let's just start right there. If I have 100 single women,
right,
and 2 women is not going to get a man.
Right.
Just from that right there, okay? There's not enough.
Right.
Now, out of the 100 women, let's say out of those 10 men, there's only really 2 men that the 100 women really want to date. Okay. Wow. So now we have 100 women with 2 men. Right there, every woman is not going to get a man of it. I'm really tired of whenever I have to have a direct moment with a woman, oh, Kendra, you're being insensitive. You're making people feel low. Don't watch my show. If that's how you feel, do not watch it. Because when I have a man up here, there's nothing but women. Actually, let me talk about this. I have a guy on my Facebook page right now who's in a jacuzzi. And there are so many women in the comments saying, he's gay, he's this, he's the sissy, he's giving me feminine vibes. You women don't have any problem expressing yourself when it's something negative to a male. But let a woman come up here and we have to have a real talk moment. All of a sudden, I don't like this show because I feel low. You don't like this show because your ass don't want to take direct criticism. And you know what? That's why your ass is going to be watching me as long as I do the show. And you ain't going to get a man because you're not strong enough to woman up and make me realize there's some shit you got to get together. Okay? So I'm really done with the sensitive women that watch the show that are always complaining when I got to give a woman real talk. And I do it in the most sensitive way as possible, if you guys ever notice. It's exhausting. It really is. So I don't want you to watch my show no more. If you feel as though I'm making someone feel low, this show ain't for you. Go do something else with your Saturday night, with your Friday night, with your life. Because I'm over it. Especially when women are literally more mean than the men on my show. Go to the comments on my page. It is 80% women saying the negative things. I'm over that shit. So if you guys can dish it, learn how to take it. And it's that simple. I'm not going to sit up here walking on eggshells, talking to women when they got crazy shit happening in their life because you guys are so freaking sensitive. Woman up. Maybe it's time for you to do something in your life and kind of get your shit together. Have you ever thought of that? Absolutely, there's men up here that got crazy shit going on. I talk to them every night. But guess what? Y'all in that same pool at times, but y'all don't want to admit it. So I'm over it. So if you feel as though I'm insensitive, I'm mean, and you can't handle it, my show ain't for you, boo. Go somewhere else.
Hey, ladies, how are you? Well, I'm gonna call my twin, and I just want to let y'all know, be toxic for the rest of your 20s. You only get one life. Live your toxic 20s. You never get to be 20 years old, 21, 22, 23, 24, none of that ever again in your life. Be toxic, because don't get in your 30s thinking you could just go slashing tires and doing all this crazy shit. You too old for that now. You too mature. Be toxic for the rest of your 20s. And if you delusional, turn that shit up a notch. Enjoy the rest of your 20s. You only get to do this shit one time.
Y'all, I apologize and I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, but as far as this music stuff, I won't be doing this music stuff anymore. I started this because this is my dream, and you know, I wanted to make sure I could get me and my kids out the hood. It's always been my passion to rap. A while ago, I had signed a contract and I didn't know nothing about the business or this game out here. And just right now, I'm realizing that I signed my soul. I sold my soul to the devil. I signed my soul to the devil. I don't even own myself no more. I sold my soul to the motherfucking devil, and I done prayed. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. I don't even believe in myself no more because of what I did. I did not know the game was like this. Fart in my man's mouth. I love to fart by my man. Bill, don't I fart around you all the time? I fart in my man's mouth. 5 inches is a huge dick to me.
5 inches?
Yeah, that's big to me.
No, okay.
That's super big. I love that size.
I know my mom used to say she'd rather be tickled than be stabbed. No, seriously, because you know, some people got all their dick and they just be damn stabbing the hell out your ass, and it's not really, you know, always pleasant.
I ain't even had no orgasm till I met him. I didn't experience one till I met my man. I ain't never even have an orgasm. I spent all my life faking orgasms for these fuck niggas. And I just finally had one. Now, I done seen some wild shit. A crackhead stole my mama antenna one time and smoked some crack with it. For real, my mama came in the house and said somebody stole her antenna to smoke crack. And I was like, wow, okay, so that makes sense because it's like a little pipe. So it just, you know, the antenna got a hole in it. The crackheads renting out the U-Haul trucks and steal people lawnmowers and shit. That's just crazy. They just go to every house to steal shit. Remember, Bill?
It's a hard thing to admit, but it's understandable why they would choose to go their own way. And that's what's scary, is there's actually a rational reason why they would do that.
Men going their own way. And you can think what you want about it, but this is a really big problem for women, for us, for our future, for families, for you to find a partner. If a population of good men are walking away because they're fed up with women,
if you're being told all your life that you are bad and wrong just for being a man, and that you have toxic masculinity for being a man, and that, you know, women, there's this famous expression that, you know, a woman needs a man just like a fish needs a bicycle. And that men are basically useless. And that men are terrible, and that, you know, women are superior.
In our society, it's very callous towards men. The only message most men hear in the world is that they're a bumbling buffoon. The TV shows are full of idiot men. Commercials show men as buffoons. The society is against them. All they hear about is what idiots men are.
It's the mass of women that are taking over the culture and representing women. They're loud. They're mean. They say they want equality. Why are they not protesting in the streets for the changing the laws for alimony or child support or child custody? Because they don't want equality. They want superiority.
The male gender has more of a slave state, and it's because men are now subjugated to the law and to women, and nobody really believes it, except the men who go through, say, the court. But most men think that they're exempt from that until they end up in a bad situation.
So for a lot of the men, and a lot of them have gotten screwed over in terrible relationships and divorces and gotten their kids taken away from them. So it's an understandable response.
In the United States of America, as a man, you can't speak up. I think most women tend to be very, I'm stereotyping, but they tend to be more collectivist. They tend to sort of be more in that socialist mindset. So I don't know that you're going to see a huge change. I think the change will have to come from men.
The lives of women will not change until the men get the opportunity to also examine and define and change their lives. In many ways, I sometimes think that the 20th century was the century where the women made all these massive changes, and the 21st century will be the changes that the men will make, partly in adaptation to the changes that the women have done.
And those men are doing something about it. They're saying, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm not getting married, or I'm divorced. They don't sit around just trying to live their life through women. They actually have lots of hobbies. They go out, they buy that land you were talking about. They're out there getting motorcycles. They're having a good time, and they're enjoying life without having to deal with the stress of the women and the society that tells them they have to have a woman in their life.
How would you feel? I mean, you're not going to feel that attracted to a woman or care to be loving towards her or romantic towards her. So this men going their own way is a reaction to that. I really think it's a rational reaction to that. Men are finally like, hey, we've given you all you want. You are equal in every way, and then you're still shaming us.
All right, guys, how you guys are doing it? Bring it to you live from the greatest state in the union, the Tar Heel State. We're going to have a good show on tonight, guys. We're going to have another good show on tonight. And we're going to be talking about a bevy or a series of issues, guys. What's going to happen to 45% of women by 2030? Kevin Samuels famously said that winter was coming. And winter is coming for a lot of women due to the lack of self-awareness. It's coming because they fail to look within themselves and look at the things that they are doing that's causing distress. Why will 45% of women be single, and why is Kendra G frustrated with so many American women? Harriet Tubman once said, I could have freed a lot more if they did not already know that they were slaves. Has many modern women, regardless of race, become slaves of their mind? Because nowadays, guys, even women that try to give women input and insight, they can't receive it because they're too sensitive. How many of you men are tired of pigeon-ish? And how many of you men are ready to run and go abroad because it's too many pigeons here in the West?
Flies eat poop. Get over it. Okay? That's for you.
Yeah. Shut up, kosher. Yeah. Shut up. Whoa. Shut up, kosher. Ballin'. Take it back. Like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Yeah, I'm ballin'. Like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. I put in work, couldn't wait for mine. I got 9, couldn't wait in line. Game time.
Shut up, kosher. Shut up. Shut up, kosher. Take it back.
And I go beast like 23, 10 toes down, glued to the concrete. And I do me, keep to myself to find my peace. Been ballin' a little bit, woke up feeling rich. Still remember days I had to grind to get a cent. Still remember days when I spent a penny pinch. Now this bank account is lit and it's up and it's stuck just like Cardi said. Same faces around me and it's hardly friends. Saying how you do it, but you hardly did. Fibbing on the ground, yeah, you probably is. Ballin' like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Yeah, I'm ballin' like it's game time.
Shut up, kosher. Shut up. Shut up, kosher. Take it back.
I got 9, couldn't wait in line. Game time. Game time. Locked in when it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Pull up from the logo like it's game time. Same zone, so won't catch me on the same time. No, time is money, so I cannot give away time.
Shut up, kosher. Shut up. Shut up, kosher. Take it back.
But they don't really know still. See the glow up and I can't believe the glow still. Me plus me, that's a whole lot of money. Wake up in the morning, I can smell the bag coming. 3 whole years and these records keep running. Don't talk to me if you can't match the numbers. Ballin', like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Yeah, I'm ballin', like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. I put in work, couldn't wait for mine. I got 9, couldn't wait in line. Game time, game time. Locked in when it's game time.
Shut up, kosher. Shut up. Shut up, kosher. Take it back.
What's going on, guys, man? Bringing to you live from the greatest state in the Union, the Tar Heel State. But listen, guys, there's a lot of pigeon-ish going on here in the greater plains of America. There's a lot of pigeon-ish going on, a lot of pigeon-ish. And a lot of men are checking out because it appears that a large percentage of American women have not been properly trained to be wise for suitable men. Now, the question might remain, are there quality women in the greater or broader Americas? Yes, there are. There are some decent women here. But here's the problem. It's not enough. If some of you men believe in theology, if you believe in the tenets of the good book, it says to train up a child in a way that which it will go, and when they become older, then they won't depart from it. Some women get mad when you use the word train, but the word train, or the synonym to train, just means to teach. And the good book said, let the older women teach/train the younger women on how to be women. But see, grandma's not even teaching, and I'm going to show it to you. But grandma is not even teaching the younger women how to be younger women. Grandma's not even teaching. Guys, donate to the channel and share the stream because these shows are time consuming. But grandma is not even teaching the younger women how to be wise. Grandma is not even teaching them how to be wise. And a woman that is a wife is a person that is suitable for coming into the life of a man, to bring him joy, to bring him peace, and for that man to conversely, to put his life on the line for his woman if he have to. But so many are frustrated because according to statistics, 45% of women will be childless and single by 2030, guys. And that's just around the corner. It's consistent with what Kevin Samuels said, that winter was coming. And, you know, as a licensed therapist, I tell clients all the time, you cannot change what you don't acknowledge. You cannot change what you don't acknowledge. If you don't change, or if you can acknowledge or not, if you can't change what you don't acknowledge, then you will continue to be in a state of arrested development. And instead of becoming the woman you need to become, you're in a state of being a hyena instead of becoming a lady of virtue and value. So the question remains, who's going to be the hyena whisperer? Because, you know, it doesn't appear that some of the Gen X women are teaching the younger ladies how to be wives and be good women. It appears that they are training for divorce because they are training for a myriad of reasons, guys. They are training for divorce because they've never seen healthy relationships. They're training for divorce because their mothers have been selfish. They're training for divorce because they've been with too many men. They're training for divorce because they can't pair bond. They're training for divorce because they think that a man was made for them, but in actuality, the woman was made for the man. And when the woman is made for the man and she has a willing heart to serve and respect her man first, then a righteous man is going to give that woman back 100-fold 2 times over. But see, you can't give to a righteous and a masculine man if you fear being intimate. Some of the women have been so impacted by Raekwon, Man, and Day that when a good man try to come into their life and try to transmit a level of valor and a level of concern, they can't receive it. They can't receive it because they have not only been impacted, but they can't receive it because they have unresolved issues from the past, and they continue to live through the negative vicarious trauma of their mothers, but they live through the vicarious trauma of others that have impacted them in a negative way. And it's become, guys, very unfortunate, guys, because one could argue that Kendra G was a hyena whisperer. She was trying to be the hyena whisperer. And I might have to do a show on that. But she was trying to be the hyena whisperer. But she can't do it because so many women are so sensitive. And you can't train a woman and lead a woman and mold a woman to how you need her to become unless you are willing to do, or she's willing to do the work. And see, the word groom, guys, it literally meant the man's job as a husband was to groom and to mold the bride into the woman that he needed her to be, and so that she could become the vessel or become the woman of valor so they can work together as a team. The husband was the caregiver. The woman symbolized the garden, meaning she's productive. And the children were the fruit of the labor of the husband, and the garden, which is the woman, which is a symbolism. But see, the garden now is contaminated. It's contaminated with women like Gorilla and Sukahana. The garden is contaminated. And because the preachers won't tell the truth, because the women won't listen, because we have a lot of men that are just simps. Jeremiah Wright said it better than me. He said that the chickens are coming home to roost. America's chickens coming home to roost. So he said that the chickens are coming home to roost because the modern woman has not been trained and equipped to follow and lead and follow. They want to lead the woman in the right direction. But once again, guys, the truth is this: you cannot lead something that's not willing. You cannot lead something that doesn't want to be led. You can't put new wine into old wineskins. If a woman is not willing to be led and willing to listen to what a man is saying, then you can't help that woman. And sadly, many modern women, guys, are not in a position to be led and loved by a righteous man. Guys, do me a favor, get the likes up, donate to the channel, and share the stream if you don't have any money. And I appreciate it. But we're going to get deep into it because by 2030, guys, a lot of women are going to be single by 2030. Many are going to be single by 2030. And one would argue that because they have not been properly trained to be wives, they have not been properly trained to allow a man to groom them into what he needs to groom her into becoming. And once he grooms her, the man turns around and give that woman his life, his last name, his legacy, and then you can have a vibrant community. But see, the modern woman is too broken for that, regardless of race. This is not a black woman issue, gentlemen, but this is an American woman issue. It's an American woman issue, issue that continues to precipitate at an all-time high. And that's why you see so much brokenness in the world. We're going to go and look at, guys, we're going to go and look at some of the clips that I got. And you guys going to see what I'm talking about. Hold tight. Go back and look at this clip real quick.
Are mad at me because I said that women keep focusing on tall, dark, and handsome with a big 6 figures, and they're passing up the good guy, the nice guy that wants to take you out. Why should we have to settle, Kendra? We should have somebody on our level. Well, let me share with you guys some data. Information that I can confirm from hosting a dating show for the last 3 years. Looking for a relationship. Most of these women want committed relationships. Out of those 100 women, I may get 10 men. So let's just start right there. If I have 100 single women, right, and 2 women is not going to get a man. Right. Just from that.
And she's right. Regardless of the circumstance, there's a large percentage of women that are not going to get men. Because that carnal hypergamy, guys, is real. Carnal hypergamy is real. Because many have not been taught to ground themselves and to be reasonable in what they want in a man. A man can't get everything he wants in a woman, neither can a woman get everything that she wants in a man.
Right there, okay? There's not enough.
Right.
Now, out of the 100 women, let's say out of those 10 men, there's only really 2 men that the 100 women really want to date. Okay, wow. So now we have 100 women with 2 men. Right there, every woman is not going to get a man of it. I'm really tired of whenever I have to have a direct moment with the woman, oh, Kendra, you're being insensitive. You're making people feel low. Don't watch my show. If that's how you feel.
And it's gotten to the point, guys, that Cynthia G herself is struggling. She's struggling because the women can't take instruction. They can't take instruction even from another woman. So if they can't take instruction from another woman, how can they take instructions from a man?
Do not watch it. Because when I have a man up here, there's nothing but women. Actually, let me talk about this. I have a guy on my Facebook page right now who's in a jacuzzi. And there are so many women in the comments saying, he's gay, he's this, he's the sissy, he's giving me feminine vibes. You women don't have any problem expressing yourself when it's something negative to a male. But let a woman come up here and we have to have a real talk moment. All of a sudden, I don't like this show because I feel low. You don't like this show because your ass don't want to take direct criticism. And you know what? That's why your ass is going to be watching me as long as I do the show. And you ain't going to get a man because you're not strong enough to woman up and maybe realize there's some shit you got to get together. Okay? So I'm really done with the sensitive women that watch the show that are always complaining when I got to give a woman real talk. And I do it in the most sensitive way as possible, if you guys ever notice. It's exhausting. It really is.
And she's become exhausted. But remember, Kendra G was one of the women that Kevin Samuels was trying to consult with before he passed. But she said it's exhausting. A woman is saying that it's becoming exhausting trying to talk to modern women because they won't listen. They won't listen because, once again, you cannot change what you don't acknowledge.
So I don't want you to watch my show no more. If you feel as though I'm making someone want to feel low, this show ain't for you. Go do something else with your Saturday night, with your Friday night, with your life. Because I'm over it. Especially when women are literally more mean than the men on my show. Go to the comments on my page. It is 80% women saying the negative things. I'm over that shit. So if you guys can dish it, learn how to take it. And it's that simple. I'm not going to sit up here walking on eggshells, talking to women when they got crazy shit happening in their life because you guys are so freaking sensitive. Woman up. Maybe it's time for you to do something in your life and kind of get your shit together. Have you ever thought of that? Absolutely. There's men up here that got crazy shit going on. I talk to them every night. But guess what? Y'all in that same pool at times, but y'all don't want to admit it. So I'm over it. So if you feel as though I'm insensitive, I'm mean, and
how many of you guys have dealt with women that you tried to guide and lead, but whatever you did or whatever you strived to do, it was never good enough? You tried to warn, you tried to prep, you tried to teach, you tried to engage, you tried to assist, and you tried to help, but it was never good enough. If you've dealt with that, then hit one, because some of the women have done it as well. But in the meantime, guys, get the likes up, share the stream, please. And thank you for the 20 that are tuning in. Let's try to get the channel up. And now, guys, thank you for tuning in on tonight. Get the...
can't handle it, my show ain't for you, boo. Go somewhere else.
Hey, ladies, how on you?
And it's a bad thing when you got a woman like Kendra G that tell you if you can't handle it, go somewhere else. Because the women are so sensitive. They are so sensitive that they won't even listen to another woman. So guys, if they don't listen to other women, what do you think you're going to do when it comes down to dealing with the modern woman? Sadly, some. Now, guys, if you guys like what I'm doing, no one is donated on tonight. These shows are very time consuming. So if you like what I'm doing, donate to the channel. If you can't donate, share the stream, because these shows are time consuming. It takes a lot of time and energy putting these shows together. So if you like what I'm doing, donate. Thank you.
When I'm going to call my twin, and I just want to let y'all know, be toxic for the rest of your 20s. You only get one life. Live your toxic 20s. You never get to be 20 years old, 21, 22, 23, 24, none of that ever again in your life. Be toxic, because don't get in your 30s thinking you could just go select.
Now, this woman is telling young women to be toxic, not telling them to be feminine. And see, guys, this is what I mean by black love without consent. The reason why so many of these women are falling by the wayside, the reason why so many are not going to get married about 2030, because they haven't more or less consented. They haven't consented by asking men what they want in relationships. They have not consented by asking men what they wanted. In other cultures, the women consent to the elders, and the elders get information from the women, and the women teach the children or the young women how to be wise. The older women consent with the men of the tribes, and the older women teach the younger women how to get husbands and keep husbands. But see, you can't have black love without consent, and you can't have love in general, guys, because consistent with Teddy Pendergrass, they can't have. So you gotta read. So.
Fashion ties and doing all this crazy shit. You too old for that now. You too mature. Be toxic for the rest of your 20s. And she's
teaching them these women to be toxic. instead of teaching them to be virtuous. But you wonder why the black community is falling and failing. You wonder why men are becoming passport bros. You wonder why men are checking out and becoming indifferent. Because if you're teaching women to be toxic, you're teaching women to be 304s or whores. That's what you're teaching them. But then after they get ran through and all their virtue is gone, then they want to come back with a bunch of baggage and kids by ain't-ish men, Raekwon the Madman, and then a damn turn around talking about, I want a good man. It doesn't work that way because you can't do what a man can do, just like men can't do what women do. But they get mad when men go to countries where the women are feminine and kind. They get mad. And they wonder why so many men are checking out.
Want to admit it. So I'm over
life. Live your toxic 20s. You never get to be 20 years old, 21, 22, 23, 24, none of that ever again in your life. Be toxic, because don't get in your 30s thinking you could just go slashing tires and doing all this crazy shit. You too old for that now. You too mature. Be toxic for the rest of your 20s. And if you delusional, turn that shit up a notch. Enjoy the rest of your 20s. You only get to do this shit one time.
I apologize and I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, but as far as this music stuff, I won't be doing this music stuff anymore.
And this is a clip of Sukahana saying she sold her soul to the devil. And many have sold their soul indirectly to the devil, not directly, because they love ratchet behavior. They love chaos. They love disorderly conduct. They don't love the things that are necessary to get the kind of man that they want and or need. So instead of being trained to be wise, they're training for divorce because 70 to 90% of divorces are initiated by women. They're not initiated by men. And we wonder why so many men are checking out. But listen to what this young lady is saying.
This because this is my dream, and I wanted to make sure I could get me and my kids out the hood. It's always been my passion to rap. A while ago, I had signed a contract, and I didn't know nothing about the business or this game out here. And just right now, I'm realizing that I signed my soul. I sold my soul to the devil. I signed my soul to the devil. I don't even own myself no more. I sold my soul to the motherfucking devil, and I done prayed. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. I don't even believe in myself no more because of what I did. I did not know the game was like this. Fart in my man mouth. I love to fart in my mouth.
But we wonder why, once again, guys, we wonder why Kendra G can't even deal with them. We wonder why 45% going to be single by 2030. And we're going to get into the article in a minute, but we wonder why. And to those that always push community, here is the reason why so many will be single. Because no man with any sense is not going to wife up some of these trashy women and make them wives. They're not even worthy of the office of being a wife. Because wives of the past were trained to be wives. They were trained or taught to be wives. The word trained, to those that get triggered, it just means to teach. The word trained just means to teach. And once the woman was trained and taught to be a wife, the groom actually groomed his woman and molded her into the woman he needed her to be so that she could bear good fruit and they could build a legacy in a family. Because, see, the husband was responsible for his woman, but the greatest gift that the husband gave his woman was his life. But see, the modern woman wants everything and she wants to give nothing in return. And that's a problem.
My man. Bill, don't I fart around you all the time? I fart in my man's mouth. 5 inches is a huge dick to me.
5 inches?
Yeah, that's big to me.
No, okay.
That's super big. I love that size.
I know my mom used to say she'd rather be tickled than be stabbed. No, seriously, because some people got all their dick and they just be damn stabbing the hell out your ass, and it's not really, always pleasant.
I ain't even had no orgasm till I met him. I didn't experience one till I met my man. I ain't never even have an orgasm. I spent all my life faking orgasms for these fuck niggas. And
And she said she spent all her life faking O's for these blank ninjas. And so she's proving my point. Many can't pair bond because they've been ran through. many can't be the woman that men need them to be because they don't have any redeeming value. And then they'll wonder why so many men are leaving and why so many men are traveling abroad looking for feminine and traditional women. Guys, donate to the channel. No one has donated. Donate to the channel. Thank you, guys. But wonder why so many are leaving.
Finally had one. Now I done seen some wild shit. A crackhead stole my mama antenna one time and smoked some crack with it. For real, my mama came in the house and said somebody stole her antenna to smoke crack. And I was like, wow, okay, so that makes sense because it's like a little pipe. The antenna got a hole in it. The crackheads renting out the U-Haul trucks and steal people lawnmowers and shit. That's just crazy. They just go to every house to steal shit. Remember, Bill?
All right, so by 2030, and I'm going to show you guys, by 2030, 45% of women will be single and childless. And we're going to look at the article and then we're going to break it down. But before we do it, guys, get the likes up because it's time to go down the rabbit hole. If you're ready to go down the rabbit hole, hit 1. If you guys are ready to go down the rabbit hole, hit 1 because it's about to get hot and heavy. But by 2030, 45% of women will be single and childless. And the person said, I'm not surprised. And we're about to explore why so many will be single and child. Guys, if you guys have gotten the notification, please let me know. Are you guys getting the notifications? If you are getting the notifications, hit 1, please. So we're about to go down the rabbit hole, guys. It's about to get real crazy in a minute, but here we go. Down the rabbit hole we go. This is the part of the show where we assess, examine, collaborate. All right. By 2030, 45% of women will be childless and single, and I'm not surprised. And we're going to explore why 45% of women will be childless and single. And once again, guys, it's because of behavior like women like Sukiana, Glorilla, and women won't listen to other older women like Kendra G. And I'm going to show you the evidence in a minute. According to a study by Morgan Stanley, it's estimated that 45% of women ages 25 to 45 will be single and childless by 2030. That's 7 years in the future. I heard this recently in one of the podcasts by Chris Williamson, and I was shocked. I said, how can this happen? And many are shocked. But if you're a wise man and you understand trends, then you are not shocked. Because if you can't change what you don't acknowledge, when you got a generation where you have not been raising the boys and nurturing the boys and everything is black girl magic instead of saying, let's raise the boys at the same level that we're raising the girls, thus, it's the reason why we're where we're at now. The woman said, I'm from India, we have lots of traditions. Marriage is to date the biggest part of our lives because for our families, the sole job is to give their children an education and marry them to a proper guy with good family and to spend their life playing with their grandkid. But see, guys, here in the West, they don't believe in family, but they do believe in being toxic like I'm Glorilla. They do believe in having children out of wedlock. They do believe in being sensitive and not introspecting. And they do believe in running up their body counts and then coming back at the latter part of the years thinking a man's supposed to marry them because Jesus forgave them. And while Jesus can forgive you, we know Jesus can forgive you. I always jokingly say, if you lie to that man about your past, that's a price to pay. And your soul might be saved, but your box is a center. And I say that if you align, if you come to your man and you're honest, you tell that man the truth, and that man can accept you in your past, then so be it. But men, they have worked their behinds off and made good choices. They want virtuous women. But women in the West, white and black, have not learned or have not been trained to be virtuous. She said, I got married at 25. My grandmother was worried no one would marry me. See, they value family. That's why men are traveling and getting passports. My grandfather wanted me to get married at 19 or 20 like all my cousins. And it's not a gender thing. Hold tight. Most of the male children in my family were also married by the age of 25. I grew up learning skills like cooking and cleaning, not because they're important or important to survive, because this is my job to cook and clean. But you tell American women about cooking and cleaning, some of these goofy women will say, I'm not a slave. I work, and I gotta work too. Because they don't understand the importance of duty. Marriage is about duty. It's not about your feelings. If you don't want to serve your husband, as your husband is expected to serve you on the back end, then you need to keep your ass single. Because marriage is about duty. It's not about you. It's not about him. It's about us. It's about becoming one flesh. But see, the modern woman don't want to do anything but complain. Because see, your grandmother that lived in the South, she worked for Miss Ann. Granddaddy was on the farm tilling the farm. Sometimes he would send his wife to school while he had a third grade education. And sometimes granddad would work up from sun up to sundown for the family because he understood duty, family, and community. But see, some of these women that preach community, they want taxation without representation. But they wonder why so many men that are traditional in thought and mind are checking out. And what they don't understand now is that simps aren't going to change them. Because now we're seeing that Umar Johnson recently was in the DR. And Umar Johnson got a taste of some of that Latin flavor. And you can say what you want to a feminine, traditional woman that know how to love her man, take care of her man in all areas. If that man is a good man, he's going to pour back into his woman. But see, some of you women are not ready for a man or a relationship because you got a lot of unresolved trauma. You're not willing to look at the pathologies that some of the choices that were impacted of your own doing. Some of it was due to trauma, some of it was due to rebellion, and some of it was due to living through the trauma of your mother that never got help. But this woman say it's just something we do, and women in other countries, they love to cook and clean and take care of their men. That makes their men more productive. But you can't tell modern women this. It's just how society is, but it's changing. I know that, and that's what's happening. Liberalism is coming to those countries. My parents stood by my side when I decided to get married until I have a job. They respected my choice to marry someone I like, even though it meant they have to listen to other relatives' gossip, because in their cultures, it's arranged marriages. They supported every career choice I made, but they taught me how to be a good cook as well as an astounding employee. My brother was never taught the cooking or cleaning part. In this society where I'm a female, where friends are told at ages 15 to 16 that they will be married all by the time they get out of college, we survived the single life until 25 and more. And so it stopped here. But anyway, guys, you get the story. Let me see. Let's see if I can find the other part. But that's 7 years, guys, into the future. And it's for a bevy of reasons. It's for a bevy of reasons. Let me see if I can get that link back. Hold on. Well, actually, it's not going to let me do it. But By 2030, many will be childless and single. Let me see, get a little bit of what this woman is saying. Hold on.
That's parenthood for you. My job got bigger.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today we're going to be talking about the rise of single women. So I've done a lot of videos on my...
So let me show you guys. Shout out to my man, Sean Campbell. Sean Campbell always showing love. Good brother. Number love for brother Sean Campbell. He's always showing love to the stream in the chat. Thank God for good men like Sean Campbell always supporting the stream. And shout out to Sean Campbell. And Sean Campbell, brother, because of your kindness, brother, you are the #1 sponsor of this stream, Sean Campbell. I appreciate it, Sean Campbell. Thank you, sir. You are the #1 sponsor of this stream. And guys, don't let Sean Campbell be the only person that's donating to the stream. Thank you. Thank you, brother Sean Campbell, for always showing love. Thank you, sir. But this is why so many are going to be single, guys, by 2030. Some of it is liberal indoctrination, some of it is selfishness, and some of it is ignorance. Hold on. I'll play a little bit of it.
My channel, or a handful of videos on my channel, about the rise of lonely single men, because it's something that's been covered by the media. Lonely, you know, the rise of lonely single men. It's always men do better, men do this. I did a whole video reacting to that article. If you didn't watch that, be sure to go watch it so you guys can kind of see what I thought about it, because I don't think it's all men's fault, just to long story short here. But then anytime a woman is single nowadays, it's always the opposite. So it's the rise of empowered single women. It's always positioned more as a choice for women of like, oh, they're empowered, they're single, they're choosing to be that way because they're empowered. But for men, it always is painted in a light where it's like incels or guys who just can't get women, or
some of these women are incels, guys, and they have been empowered to be depowered. Many of these women have been empowered to be depowered because they have not been properly taught, black and white, how to be a wife to a righteous man.
Guys who need to step up and do better and do X, Y, and Z in order to, you know, get one of these empowered single women to like them. And while of course it might be true for, you know, some people, it's definitely not the reality for everyone. There are a lot of men who are happily single and a lot of women who are lonely as well. So I just thought it was kind of interesting how our society, you know, paints men and women who are single in very different lights at this point in time. So if a man is single, it means he's lonely, and if a woman is single, it means she's empowered. Okay, so I wanted to read just a little bit of this article to you.
And guys, that's delusion, to say the least. That's delusion. But look at modern dating culture. I'm gonna play a little bit of this, and then I'm gonna show you guys something else. Hold tight.
So you guys can kind of get an understanding of what I'm talking about. It says, as a single person in her 30s, a therapist and an author whose work centers around dating and healthy relationships, I am grateful for the culture shift towards healthier relationship standards that Madhouse described in his article. Until recently, modern dating has been imbalanced. Women have been socially programmed to believe their value and worth are conditional and reflected by their relationship status. Media, including dating, self-help.
Shout out to my man, Money Man Mark, for the $20 cash app. He came up last night. Thank you, brother, for being so kind. Thanks to my man, Money Man Mark, for the $20 cash app. Thank you, Money Man Mark. And you and Sean Campbell are the #1 sponsors.
It's the money.
Help literature has played a big part in this, encouraging women to change various aspects of themselves, personality, physical appearance, communication style, to be more desirable to men. Well, there's also a ton of content out there for men that's the same thing.
If your wife or girlfriend is cheating on you and considering leaving you for that man, then you need to listen up.
In my work, I've seen this social programming impact women in their pursuit of dating and relationships time and time again, leading many to feel like they must play the game to be successful and find a mate. Of course, this outdated approach often leaves single women feeling hopeless.
And the reason why this is happening, guys, is this. They're not consenting and asking men what they want. They're not consenting like women of old did and asking men what they want in relationships. Women are the sellers, men are the buyers. But the question to the modern woman, what are you selling to men if you want a noteworthy man to cover you? Because let me tell you guys something. With this crazy president that we got in office, if we give him another 4 years, you ain't seen nothing. Yeah, it's already crazy now. And a lot of people are homeless. They can't afford to live where they're living at. Eviction rates are high. And you better hope that you find you a good man at some point. A man that you can follow, respect, and he can lead you. And while some of these young men don't have the records and skills to lead, they're still traditional at their core. And I would say overly traditional because they've been trained to be simps.
And disempowered. But there's a shift occurring and it's palpable, and this is not strictly an outcome of the surge of dating app usage. As women have gained more rights and are recognized as mostly equal to men, traditional gender roles and constructs are becoming obsolete. In the past, most women needed men for resources. They needed a provider.
And guys, they use words like partner now, which is foolish because the word partner was normally normalized by alphabets, mostly men. And because you can't have a marriage, and your wife is your partner. Your wife is your wife and you're her husband. But a partner means that if somebody break in the house, then she gonna have to hold it down too. Y'all take turns leading. That's what a partnership is. Business partners take turns leading. They take turns in failures, and they take turns in making decisions for the organization. But men and women want to be partners when it's beneficial, and they want a traditional man when it's beneficial.
Now, with more opportunities, women have more independence and recognize they do not need a man in the same way that women did in previous generations. Without such high stakes, women are raising the bar. We are no longer looking for a provider, but a partner and an equitable relationship. We want more.
And you guys heard that word partner, which is the death kill for traditional men. Traditional men don't want no damn partner. They want a wife. They don't want a partner. They want a wife. Shout out to my man Gregory Scotland in the house showing love. Shout out to my man Gregory. Much love to my man Gregory Scotland. Sean Campbell showing love to my man Money Man Mark. Thank you, Money Man Mark. And he said, salute, coach. Have you seen the new stream by Glorilla where she is promoting young women being toxic? Yeah, in their 20s. Yeah, I just played it. Greg. You came in late. But I just played it, brother. I just played it. Hold tight.
Men and women who are guys who just can't get women, or guys who need to step up and do better and do X, Y, and Z in order to, get Mad Host described in his article. Until recently, modern dating has been imbalanced. Women have been socially programmed to believe their selves, personality, physical relationships time and time again, leading many to feel like they must play the game to be successful and find a provider. Now, with more opportunities, women have more independence and recognize they do not need a man.
And see, what the problem is, a lot of women want to adjust. You making money and having degrees don't mean nothing to a masculine man unless that degree is going to be used to help that man become the better version of themselves. But once again, the older women are not teaching these younger women how to be wives while they're getting careers. It's nothing wrong with a woman getting a career because sadly, it takes two now. But just because you make money, it doesn't mean you're over your husband. You can make $1 million a year. If that man make 100,000, that man still is the leader in that relationship.
The same way that women did in previous generations. Without such high stakes, women are raising the bar. We are no longer looking for a provider, but a partner and an equitable relationship. We want more. Yeah, and I think this talk of healthy relationships is amazing. I am all about healthy relationships. That's what I do on this channel. I'm all about making dating a little happier and healthier. The article about lonely single men stated that women want men who are emotionally available, good communicators, and share similar values. And while those three things are yes, yes, and yes, I totally agree. That's not all that women want. And I don't think that we can sit here and lie to ourselves and say.
But the question is, what do men want? Men want women that are chaste. Men want women with low body counts. Most masculine men that have done the work don't want women with kids. You know, we understand that sometimes that can happen, but in general, men that don't have kids, they don't want women with kids. Men want women that are fit. Men want women that are disciplined. Men want women that know how to honor him, respect him, and to conduct herself like a lady. But we don't ask men what they want. That's why it's called black love without consent.
That those are the top 3 things that women are looking for, because those are 3 things on a checklist of a million other things. Over 6 feet, making 6 figures, or whatever number it is, handsome. A big thing that I think these articles fail to mention is the fact that these are not the only things that women care about, unfortunately. I wish it was. As a woman, I wish I could sit here and say the only 3 things women care about are a guy who is emotionally available, good communicators, and has good values and morals and shares whatever with her. But sadly, those are just 3 things on a checklist of many other things that women are looking for. And if a guy doesn't have the other things also, the woman probably wouldn't give him a chance. Unfortunately, I wish it wasn't true.
Now, guys, I want to show you some. I'm going to go to this because I don't want to get a copyright claim. But I want to show you guys some based on what this young man said. Shout out to Average Man Unplugged. Somebody sent me this. Shout out to my man, Doc. I'm going to show you guys something. And this is what it means by letting the older women teach the younger women, but they're not teaching them how to be wise. But shout out to Average Man Unplugged, and TikToker goes viral for saying this.
A subject that is not talked about a lot. And the Gen X generation gonna be real hot with me, but I really want to talk about the millennials who are doing the best they can without real grandmothers. And by the way, when I say Gen X, though, that's like whoever was born in 1968 to 1980. You know, back in the day when I used to play outside when I was a kid, I had friends who would always be at their grandmama and their auntie house. Now, my mother is not part of the Gen X generation. My mom was born in the 50s, right? So when I would go outside, I used to ask my friends, like, dang, you been at your grandma's house for a real long time. Dang, you been at your auntie house for about a real long time. Where's your mom? Like, you know, did you talk to her? Is she okay? Because you've been here for about 14 days. I mean, you would have literally thought that I worked for child services at a young age because I had questions that needed answers, because my mama didn't play that shit. She didn't believe in leaving me at her mama's house for umpteen days, or her sister's house for umpteen days during school days, and never returning until like the 14th day. Like, my mama did not play none of that. And it's sad to me how millennials, you know, when it's time for them.
And it appears that Gen X women, or one could argue that Gen X women, many fail some of these millennial women. Because just like one could argue that the boomer women taught Gen X women to focus on education and degrees, one could also argue that Gen X women taught the millennial women the same thing. Thus, which is a vicious cycle, thus the rise of the passport bros.
To live their life, you know, if they want to go out for a weekend, hey, mama, can you watch my baby for me? A lot of y'all in the Gen X generation, you won't even look out for them. And the sad part to me, Gen X will be like, oh, I don't got time for all of that. I done raised y'all. I want to live my life. Baby, it's 365 days in a year. Your children or your child been at your grandma's house back in the day, 364. So I'm trying to figure out, who in the hell did you really raise?
Does this woman have a point? If she have a point, hit 1 if she have a point. If she has a point, hit 1. If she has a point, hit 1. But by 2030, 45% of women will be single. Is it Gen X responsibility or fault that so many would be single. Hold tight.
Some of y'all kids was at your sister house, your mama house, your great-great-grandma house. I mean, Gen X, a lot of y'all had a whole damn village when it came to y'all children. And you can't come through for yours? Now it's y'all turns to be the grandmama. It's now y'all turns to be the aunties. And it's so sad. Everybody looked out for y'all. But now it's your turn and you can't do nothing? And then you say, oh, I want to live my life. Oh, I want to live my life. Baby, what did you miss in your prime? Y'all was at the clubs 24/7. And let's not even talk about Freaknik, baby. You went every fucking year. Now your sister needs some help. Now your brother needs some help with, hey sis, can you watch my son for me? Can you watch my daughter for me for like an hour? Ooh, an hour? An hour? Little Miss Unfit, an hour too much for you?
Well, listen, it's no one's responsibility to watch your kids. But if somebody is going to watch your kids because you're being productive, you're looking for a job, because you lost a job, or maybe you need a mental health break. But see, this is what happens when you marry without getting a husband or being under righteous leadership. This is what happens when you don't marry or don't be under righteous leadership.
Not the same bitch who left your child at your mama house sitting up here talking about, oh, I'm going to the club. I'm gonna be back at 9. I'm gonna be back at 9. Your mama had just told you she really got food in the house.
Shout out to my man, Gregory Scotland. As Gregory Scotland is the number one sponsor of the stream. Gregory Scotland is the number one sponsor of the stream. Shout out to brother Gregory. He said we might as well say the Generation X women started many of the problems.
Now it's your turn and you can't do nothing.
Gregory Scotland said that we might as well say it's the Generation X women started many of the problems and the behaviors of modern women, and they argue the loudest, strong and independent. Yeah, and don't need a man. I think boomer women played a role as well, but at least boomer women were still somewhat traditional. But Gen X was like the nexus point, and I don't know what it looks like now, man. It's crazy. But Gregory Scotland, he is the number one sponsor of this stream overall. Thank you, Gregory Scotland. Gregory Scotland said that baby boomer women betrayed the Black Power movement. Yeah. And many have betrayed some of the brothers too. And now the chicken coming home to roost because mama was a black queen, but she also was
Even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama.
Some of y'all was hella trifling, baby. Y'all would drop y'all kids off, walk off with your purse, and didn't even ask. And the same.
Like I said, I knew I was gonna have to let it breathe for a minute, but it came across it. So.
Shout out to Average Man on Plug. Go check out that brother channel. Go check out that brother channel.
Late 80s and early 90s and 2000s, baby. Come on now. Because they know what type of person you are. And what gets me is about Gen X. A lot of y'all, not all of y'all, but a lot of y'all will literally sit up there and be like, you know, the reason why my child or the children, the way they are today, the reason why they're so independent is because of me. Are they the reason why they are today because you taught them that, or because they didn't have a choice? Because there is a difference between teaching your child to be independent and because they didn't have a choice. So which one is it? Because the millennials.
She got a fair point. Very fair point. But see, teaching them that and saying they didn't have a choice is two different things. I would say it's the former instead of the latter, because many should have been teaching their daughters to be soft and independent, or soft and self-sufficient until I get my man. Because see, independent and self-sufficient means the same thing, but independent carries a stronger and a more negative connotation.
I went to school with, the ones that I played with, they raised themselves while you went and go fucked off. They raised themselves when you were still at that nigga house who still don't want you to this day. They raised themselves when y'all stayed at the club. They raised themselves when y'all spent the whole week in Freaknik. They raised themselves. And it's so sad, y'all sorry asses can't come through for nobody. And the sad part is, when it comes to your millennial child, her daddy already sorry. You picked her daddy, and then you gonna turn around and be a sorry ass mother, and turn around and be a sorry ass grandmama, and a sorry.
Get this woman an award because she's right. This young millennial chick is telling the truth, because they did pick him. They picked Raekwon, and they picked Man. They picked Raekwon and Man, and I see it all the time. They pick Raekwon the Man.
Yeah, put chain on them. Balls on my mom. They be broken balls. Kill some of my mom. Bro, they back me like gang. That's on my monkey. Gang. That's on my monkey. Gang. That's on my monkey.
Yes, auntie. I mean, sometimes I look at, not all of y'all, but sometimes I look at the Gen X generation like a damn platypus. I mean, God just be making anything, because at this point, what are you good for? What are you good for? My advice to my millennials, baby, continue to do the best you can. That's all you can, sis. That's all you can do, sis. That's all you can do, bro, is do the best you can. Because at this point, baby, I mean, you've been making it as far as we all can remember. You the one that's been raised, and if you the oldest, baby, we all know you've been the one raising your damn siblings.
And see, guys, now the chickens are coming home to roost, because when men talk about the struggle of having sorry, trifling moms or toxic moms, we just minimize and say we hate women, which is foolish. But this young lady has been saying some of the same thing the men are saying, that their mothers or their toxic mothers played a role in many of their pathologies, sadly.
All of them. Every one of them. Baby, we all know you the one who had to fend for yourself. Do the best you can. And just, instead of arguing with your mama, instead of arguing with your daddy, accept them for who they are and just keep trucking and just do the best you can. When your child start asking questions about, why my grandma don't come around, why every time I look around, grandma won't let me come over, what's going on? Don't dog her out. Do not dog her out. She will see when she get of age. She will see when she get of age. Just keep trucking and handle your business. Period.
Hold tight, guys. All right, this thing is bugging. All right, it is bugging. Hold on.
And understand a lot of what she's saying and where she's coming from. There's a connection.
Know that if anyone in my generation comes for you, it's either because it's not their personal experience or they don't want to face the truth about Gen X as a collective. Now, having been in my teens and 20s during the 1990s, I think I know what may have contributed to this. So when I was 11, I moved from Boston to Texas and lived a sheltered childhood with my dad. And when I graduated...
And see, guys, everything ain't white supremacy. Does white supremacy play a role? Sure it has. But white supremacy is not our biggest issue, in my opinion. We know that there's still some structural barriers, but it's not really that. It's the breakdown of the family. It's a lack of values. It's a lack of morals. It's a lack of faith. It's a lack of respect for the men. It's a lack of men being leaders. It's a lack of men having standards. And it's the breakdown of the traditional family and the erosion of communities, guys. But Gen X women played a role in some of the demise of some of these young women too. Because just like the boomer women told them to get their degree and they strong and independent and don't need a man, which is foolish. That's what happens and make women not suitable for be wives or to be wives because they're too vulnerable or they're too arrogant or they are too rebellious.
In high school in 1994, I moved back to
Listen to what this woman is saying. Shout out to Average Man Unplugged. Listen to what this woman is saying.
I noticed that a lot of my peers were already parents at 18, 19 years old. Now, when I moved back to Boston, I was instantly homeless. I can do a story time on that, but moving on. I was couch surfing, working minimum wage jobs, really trying to make ends meet, and I was at my wit's end. And I want you to keep in mind that the economy was booming back then. It wasn't long before peers and professionals all gave me the same advice as to how I can get myself out of my situation. And
yes, the economy was booming in the 90s, especially in the Triangle. It was so many jobs in the Triangles in the late 90s, early 90s, and the early 2000s that they had for hire signs everywhere. People could go and work anywhere they wanted to work because the economy was booming.
And when I tell you the advice that they gave me blew my mind, I'm not exaggerating. And Gen X, you better not deny this shit. I was told to have a baby. Bruh. Have a baby. Back then, if you had a baby, you can get housing and...
Right. They trained them, guys, not to be wise, but they trained them. This woman from Gen X, they trained them. The women trained them to be slaves to the government instead of teaching them and training them how to be wives. And this training and indoctrination is led to our current nexus where by 2030, 45% of women are going to be single. 45% will be single without husbands or single without children and perhaps without husbands, perpetuating more reliance on a dead government that's trying to get men to come back to the plantation and marry some of these women with all the baggage and all the fun that they have had.
More than enough food stamps with no issue. There were also agencies that would help furnish your whole apartment, and others would help out with clothes and school supplies. But you had to have a baby, and I didn't want a baby. And the feedback I got was kind of mind-blowing. Do you want to get out of this mess or not? You will grow to love your child.
And no different than Ebony K. Williams, guys. No different than Ebony K. Williams telling women that they don't have to consent to a man, but they want the DNA of a man. They want to raise that child by themselves, but they ain't got a damn nerve to say black men need to be leaders while they're continuing to make bad choices and bad decisions. Instead of being righteous women, they'll go around high-fiving one another, saying, girl, yes.
Girl, yes. Okay now, baby. Okay? Girl, yes. Okay now, baby.
Once you're a mom, you'll get over it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not having a baby for the purpose of a meal ticket. Y'all are crazy.
Right. Many had babies for the purpose of a meal ticket because they were selfish. They didn't care about their children. And they were undisciplined. But you got the same women now, you know, that are older, ran through baggage, and talking about black men don't build. But those are the same black men that were going to school, the same black men that made good choices, the same black men that they say were boring and was a square in the lane. After Raekwon the Man used them up, threw them in the trash can, made kids out of wedlock with them, multiple kids, but now they want you to tell my damn come and support a community to a bunch of women that have not been trained or raised or taught to be wives. The word train means to teach North Carolina Central, when it was erected back in 1910, was a training school for teachers. Women of the past were trained to be wise. Train means to be taught. That's why the gospel said, train up a child in the way that it would go so it won't depart from it. But the modern woman is not trained to be a wife, but she is trained to be toxic. She is trained to be promiscuous. She is trained to have children out of wedlock. She is trained to undermine her husband's authority. But they get mad when men say, you know what, since we are the buyers, we want women from other countries, because these women are not only a liability to our financial well-being, but also a liability to our mental health.
And that's when I started looking at the bigger picture, especially with my peers that were giving me that same advice. I would see how they were with their children, and there was no real bond. Kind of like their kids were in the way of their happiness. So with millennials being adults now and hearing their stories, I can't help but think about the times I would see them as children being pawned off on the grandmother, the auntie, and all of that. I decided to go to a women's shelter, and I worked 2 jobs until I got my first apartment when I was 19. And I did not have my first and only child until I was 37. By the way, I don't let anyone watch my daughter, and I don't do babysitters.
Shout out to Gregory Scotland being the #1 sponsor of this stream. Gregory Scotland always showing love and supporting black male content, guys. It's always important to support male content, because at some point, guys, we don't know how this algorithm is going to go, and we don't know how long we can talk about issues pertaining to men. So support it while you can, because as time continues to get foolish in this country, we don't know if black male content or male content in general is going to be censored. And as a licensed professional, I have to be very careful because we don't live in a society that values what men say. Gregory Scotland said, I was a young man in the late 1970s through 80s, and that period, I started to see the so-called good girl, church girl going. I see the so-called good girl, church going types get pregnant and act strange ways. I'm not surprised. I grew up in church too, Gregory. And I saw some BS as well. And as Porky Pig said, not Porky Pig, that's all.
My daughter's always with me. So in that sense, I'm much like my mom when we were young, and my mom's a baby boomer. So with many Gen Xers being grandmothers and old...
She said her mom is a baby boomer. So her mom that was a baby boomer more or less taught her how to rebel, and some of the Gen X women carried the same torch.
The aunties that don't want to watch their grandchildren or young family members, I will say this. My opinion is that they always have been and always will be spoiled from that 90s era.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Y'all heard it.
All right, so you guys heard it. Now, we wonder why so many women are low value. Kevin Samuels talked about the archetype of a low value woman. They're victims of sign. They more not victims, but they project or produce sign language. So let's go back and review what Kevin was saying when he was alive, because sign language is prevalent with so many modern women. So many modern women practice sign language. Sign language. The modern women projects sign language. Hold tight.
Taking case in point, let's say some of the things when women come to my channel. Here's a shaming tactic. They use shaming tactics. Yo mama black.
And your mama black is very disingenuous, guys. And see, Kevin talked about sign language, but I talked about something called deaf. Deaf is tied into what's called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance means they know what's going on, but they can't hear because it makes them feel uncomfortable. Many women struggle with cognitive dissonance, but also they strive with egocentria. Guys, that's one of the reasons why I advocate that men travel abroad, because even though women overseas are not perfect women, women are going to be women wherever you go. But the difference is the women have been trained and taught to respect and to honor family. There are districts overseas that are red light districts where they solicit, but we're not talking about those areas. You single men that don't have wives, you got an awesome chance of finding a good traditional wife abroad. If you take your time, do the work, get therapy before you go, get therapy from a therapist like myself, a non-diagnostic consultation, where I work with you to help you work through your pain and your issues. And then after that, you save your money and you find your traditional woman abroad. We know that there are some women here, but they're hard to find, guys. And to you single men that have done the work, you don't have time to keep waiting.
You hate women. Shaming tactics.
And once again, shaming language is tied to a concept called death. They deny the evidence. When you present them with the evidence, they become enraged when you present them with the evidence. They argue to ad hominem attacks, meaning they attack the messenger instead of the message, and they fight you or they flee. Death.
Shame, shame, shame. Shame is one of the 4 major arrows of a low-value woman. It's part of a low-value woman's pathology. You cross the board. I don't care what you have on paper. When women operate in these areas, they diminish their value to low. Because if you really have a good argument, you should not have to shame somebody. Shaming is just a way to get control of the conversation. Shame is different than insults. Shame is used to turn a positive into a negative. Shame, again, shaming tactics. Success shaming. Oh, well, you think you better than everybody because now you lost weight or because you got some money. Shaming tactics meant to keep you stuck. People who can't wait.
Gregor said, I would like for you to give an analysis of what Tommy Sotomayor was saying when he said that men have not started a revolution yet. Based on what he's saying to the men that are staying here, Gregory, they complain about women, but yet they give their power away, going back to the same women here in the West that they complain about. I partially agree with that. But I would say the broader conversation, Gregory, is this. Is that there is a revolution, there's a conscious revolution and a subconscious revolution where men are beginning to travel. It's starting off slow and it will begin to get bigger and bigger as time goes on. But the broader conversation says that men are beginning to travel. Men are becoming laser focused, as the Quiet Storm said. And men are getting their passports with the understanding that women abroad are not perfect. But they're beginning to travel and go to lands where the women are traditional, where the women have been convinced. But are there still simps in America that worship women? Yes. Are there still men that talk on one side of the mouth, but right or in the DMs of the same women they complain about? Yeah, I've seen some of them. Men in my chat talking to some of the same women they complain about. But there still is a silent revolution that's taking place, and it's going to get bigger and bigger. That's why, guys, if you don't have your tickets, come get your tickets, guys, from the Black Man Unfit Conclave. Come get your tickets. We're going to be helping men, young men, old men, middle-aged men. We're going to be helping these men become the better version of themselves. Go get your tickets, guys, from the Black Man Unfit Conclave.
Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Subscribe to Machismo TV and Saul T-Balls. We stream daily from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the best male-centric content. Highlight reels without reviewing or providing any editorial bias to the content. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
Shout out to Brother Kevin White for the 5. Thank you, Brother Kevin White. Thank you, sir.
In the argument, tend to use shaming tactics. And that's the number one. That's the S in the sign. Another sign of a low-value woman is she often insults. Insults. Often insults. To speak or treat with disrespect or scornful abuse. You gay. You got a little pee-pee. You ugly. You this, you that. Insults. Oh my goodness. Think how often you will hear someone when they're losing an argument or can't stand on the merits of the argument, they want to come out with an insult. In debate, it's called an ad hominem, against the man. The first person to get off the topic and start making personal insults is the one that loses. Insult. Low value women, playbook, pathology, shame, shaming tactics, insults. And the insults can be your height, your weight, your money, the way you look. Insults, they are more ready to give an insult than a compliment. Matter of fact, not only do they insult, they take pride in their insults. And if you can't take their insults, they shame you. Oh, look at you. You too weak. Again, shaming tactics. You're supposed to be able to handle their insults. And see, low value women feel like people should be able to handle them. That's not working. No one wants to handle a woman. So if you use shame as a tactic to get your way, you may be low value. If you're often insulting to get your way,
and guys, sadly, it's a lot of low value women here in the West, sadly.
Or to shut people up or shut people down, you may be low value. You notice the next one? S and the I. Next thing, let's go with the G. The G is guilt. Guilt. The fact of having committed, let me see. How are we doing tonight, folks? How are we doing tonight? Let me go ahead and let's see where we're at. Get the engagement up. We're doing pretty good. Even though we had a rocky start with this internet over here, we're doing okay. In the chat room, ask yourself a question. Have you ever had anyone try to shame you for when just because you were right? Guilt. Making someone feel guilty, especially in order to induce them to do something. Guilt, a manipulation.
And see, guys, you see the guilt and manipulation for those that try to shame men that want to get passports and travel abroad. You see simps trying to make them guilty. You see some of these women that try to guilt these men. Because instead of becoming better women, they don't become better women. They become better complainers. And because they're becoming better complainers, men now are just minimizing or not taking any heed to what these women are saying.
Your mama black is not only a shaming tactic, it's a guilting tactic. It's made to move you under control. See, these things are somewhat passive and somewhat aggressive. Shame, insults, and guilt are ways to manipulate control, exert power. And it's not done in a physical way, it's done in an emotional way. You know, physical bruises and scars and attacks heal. Emotional ones go on forever. Low value women specialize in low value, high potency shame, guilt, and insult attacks. They're good at them, guilting you. Oh, you're going out with your boys? Okay, well, oh, you must not love me. Guilt. Meaning that if you don't do what you want them to do, you're a bad person. Four signs of a woman that's low value. See, a high value woman, by contrast, she's appealing and attractive. She has a comforting character. Her character, a high value woman, is comforting in her character. She's not going to shame you, insult you, or guilt you. She's going to lift and build people up. She's enthusiastic and exuberant about things. She's, like I said, she's liberating. Low value.
And you got a better chance, guys, of finding a high value woman overseas. The odds are a lot higher, guys, of finding a high value woman overseas. The odds are a lot higher, guys. Hold tight.
Value women are the opposite. They are burdensome. A high value woman is a feminine asset. A low value woman is a liability. And it typically is a masculine liability, but it can be a feminine liability. There are some feminine low value women. Make no mistake. And last, the last sign that a woman may be low value is this one: the incessant need to be right. I have video after video after video after video after video of me having conversations with women here who will argue you into the ground. If you've ever dealt with somebody who absolutely needs to be right, let me explain the root of this. There are many, the need to be right can be rooted in different things. But firstly, the need to be right is often a mask for insecurity. The person is concerned how others perceive them, and if they're wrong or they felt like they're not meeting whatever expectations, they will force themselves to be.
Once again, guys, thank you to all the guys that donated on tonight. Some of you guys are new to this channel. Some of you guys have never donated. It's always the same good brothers: Money Man Mark, Quiet Storm, always Gregory Scotland, Sean Campbell. The same brothers, guys. But some of you guys, they have never donated. Start donating to the channel. If you don't have money, just share the stream, guys, because these channels and these shows are very time-consuming. So thank you once again to Gregory Scotland, Sean Campbell, Money Mark, and all the other brothers that have donated on tonight. Thank you, guys.
Be right. People who need to be right tend to be masking insecurity. Insecure about what? That's a different subject.
And also to Kevin White. Kevin White always showing love too. Shout out to Kevin White as well. Shout out to Kevin White.
One of the best things that you can learn is to let it go. You don't need to be right. Just relax and being correct. Think about the young lady I was talking to the other day, the 26-year-old virgin who kept on wanting to argue about fornication and the Bible. Wait till you listen to this call. All the things in there: shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right, low value. Just because you're a virgin and a Christian doesn't make you high value when you move in the way you do. You'll see. see it. It'll be laid out and you'll be like, wow, all of this to prove to be right on something. And see, low value women, why they lose men, especially high value men, they are more concerned. They want to win the argument, but they lose the man. Low value women win the argument and lose men. Many of your mothers are low value. Why? There's a reason your dad ain't around. And
some of you men have experienced it. This thing is doing a lot of buffering, man. Some of you men have experienced that from your mothers. Some of you men have experienced it. And he's right. There is a reason why their fathers is not around. I don't know what's going on with stream, y'all. It's been doing some crazy stuff here lately.
Oftentimes we are told that the men are all the dads are just horrible people. No. Cannot be mathematically impossible.
Shout out to my man Andrew Baker, always showing love, one of the few patrons to show love. Some of his content, guys, will start be moving to membership at some point. I just haven't had time to do it. I might even get a Patreon at some point as well. But thank you to Andrew Baker, always showing love. Out in Colombia, shout out to Andrew Baker. He said, salute kosher clinician. Kevin Samuels was spot on with talking about low value and high value women. We have all come across women who are never wrong. Yes. And they will never grow and they'll never learn, Brother Baker. And like Teddy Pendergrass said, tomorrow, so you gotta read. So
many times the guy was like Jenny Mai's father and just got tired of being beat down with a woman who was domineering and needed to be right, to where he just had to leave. Broke his heart to leave his family and everything else, but it was either leave or die.
And guys, once again, the traits of a low value woman. I'm going to pull something up, guys. I'm going to show you guys another clip. And I'm going to be ending this stream at some point because I have to eat and I got to get up in the morning.
Mad at me because I said that.
But once again, Kendra G is frustrated. She's frustrated with the modern woman. And now, just like they want to attack or stop Kevin Samuels, they're trying to stop Kendra G as well. Hold tight.
Can't handle it. My show ain't for you, boo. Go somewhere else.
Kendra G must be stopped.
Now listen what they said. She must be stopped. Another black woman must be stopped just because she's telling the truth. And while Kendra G is a modern woman too, and Kendra G ain't perfect, you can't have a black community where women are ignorant and they don't have the proper level of self-awareness. I've never seen so many sensitive women that are immature. I've never seen
them. I guess I could talk to a guy with a child so long as the baby mother is like deceased, if she's not like alive or something like that. I could deal with that. And then
this is how self-centered people are. She said that nonchalantly, like it's okay to say. Like, that's how self-centered people are. They care that much about themselves. Why would you want to date somebody as a man who would want your child's mother dead? Think about the trauma that would cause your child. But she don't even care about that.
And guys, this is a sign of toxic, low-value women. Toxic and low value.
She don't care about the actual man. His child's mother's dead. That might cause trauma for him. Like, I hate this culture, yo. I swear, Kendra G must be stopped. She has to go. Just go.
Asking you, so when you get in the pool, I'm asking you a direct question. When you get in the pool, what color do the water turn?
So what color do the water turn? First of all, I'm allergic to chlorine.
Girl, you know what the hell I'm talking about. You say everybody making the pool mustard color.
No, I didn't say everybody.
So I want to know. I want to know when you get in the pool. I want to know when you get in the pool. What color is the water?
Kendra, I didn't say everybody. I didn't say everybody, Kendra. I never
Well,
said.
you're talking about people, so I'm asking you a direct question.
I'm not talking about everybody. I said some people.
Okay.
Now look at this woman being combative, guys, with another woman. This woman is being combative with another woman. Not only is she probably combative with men, but this woman is being combative with another woman. Not willing to listen and not willing to self-introspect.
Okay, we took that off that's off the table. I'm asking you a direct question. When you get in the pool, what color does the water turn?
The color is still the same. It's still consistent.
Oh, so when you get in the pool, you think the water's clear?
The color is still the same. It's still consistent.
Okay, let's continue. All right, what kind of man you looking for?
I'm looking for, like I said, a man that's healed. Because as I stated before, some people are not healed. So please come healed from past childhood traumas, past relationships.
She wants a man that's healed, but it's obvious that she needs to be healed and she needs a non-diagnostic clinical consultation because she doesn't even have the proper self-awareness as a woman. And this woman would be the example of why by 2030, many will be single without husbands because they have not been trained to be wives, but they have been trained for divorce.
That's the biggest thing for me. Healing. Something that people don't take seriously or think they need. Healing.
So do you feel like men that are not healed aren't approaching you?
I'm sorry?
Do you feel that men that are healed, are they not approaching you?
Yes, some men are healed that are approaching me.
So what's up with them?
But that means they're not compatible for me. They're not for me. Because some of them are too old. Some of them are like in their 40s and 50s. And I didn't agree to dating older men that far out like that.
Okay, so you want them healed. What else?
I want...
And guys, you know, to you guys that are in your 40s and your 50s, you're in your prime. A man in his 40s and 50s is not only a seasoned, mature man, but if you go to Colombia, guys, go to the Philippines or some countries in Africa, women love older, mature, seasoned men. But see, only here in America where the women are ignorant, toxic, ran through, and entitled, they don't understand the value of a mature, seasoned, older man. We're not talking about any old man. We're not talking about a lame old man. We're not talking about an old man that don't have his stuff together. But we're talking about seasoned, mature men that have built value and status, and they know what their worth is, and they can get with a proper woman that can be under their leadership.
Them to have not anger issues, so no anger issues. They are mild-tempered.
No, you said mild.
Like I don't want an angry man. I don't want an angry man that has control of his emotions.
Come on. You said mild temper, no anger. You're going to need to watch back this video and watch yourself because maybe you don't know yourself. You came on with a temper.
No, I didn't.
You told to me, listen, energy is always transferred. Because you went so hard on past guests, it made me want to go hard at you because you came on with that energy. So one thing I want to say, you've been trying to come up with this energy because I've been seeing your name for weeks trying you on the show. So I'm like, okay, I keep seeing her name. She's like, first, I feel like you've been waiting for this show to start because your name will be at the top. So you've been waiting all these weeks to get on the show to give me that. Like, you gotta understand, you are attracting what before I go any further, let me address some comments because I'm tired of it. I'm really tired.
It's a bad thing, guys, and a bad sign when you got women like Kendra G giving up and quitting because the status of Western women is so horrible. She's getting tired. A woman is getting tired. So I guess Kendra G hate black women too. Once again, that's the mark of a low-value woman. No self-introspection and no accountability.
Whenever I have to have a direct moment with a woman, oh, Kendra, you're being insensitive. You're making people feel low. Don't watch my show. If that's how you feel, do not watch it. Because when I have a man up here, there's nothing but women. Actually, let me talk about this. I have a guy on my Facebook page right now who's in a jacuzzi. And there are so many women in the comments saying, he's gay, he's this, he's a sissy, he's giving me feminine vibes. You women don't have any problems expressing yourself when it's something negative to a male. But let a woman come up here and we have to have a real talk moment. All of a sudden, I don't like this show because I feel low. You don't like this show because your ass don't want to take direct criticism. And you know what? That's why your ass is going to be watching me as long as I do the show. And you ain't going to get a man because you're not strong enough to woman up and maybe realize there's some shit you got to get together. Okay? So I'm really done with the sensitive women that watch the show that are always complaining when I got to give a woman real talk. And I do it in the most sensitive way as possible, if you guys ever notice. It's exhausting. It really is.
And you're right, Gregory Scotland. Many women want to follow Princella or someone like her. I agree with you 1,000,000%. Many do because they don't want to follow traditional women. And it is exhausting. And some could argue distress played a role in Kevin's demise and not getting proper sleep. Because dealing with these modern women, it's exhausting, man. It's exhausting. And some of you men will be a fool to continue to argue with them because you don't have enough time. To you single men, if you can't find the right woman here, get your passport and travel abroad.
So I don't want you to watch my show no more. If you feel as though I'm making someone feel low, this show ain't for you. Go do something else with your Saturday night, with your Friday night, with your life. Because I'm over it. Especially when women are literally more mean than the men on my show. Go to the comments on my page. It is 80% women saying the negative things. I'm over that shit. So if you guys can dish it, learn how to take it. And it's that simple.
And once again, guys, they are training for divorce. A lot of these women haven't been trained to be wise. Listen to what Kendra G said. She said 80% of the women are saying the negative stuff. Women are attacking another woman. Women are attacking another woman. Now, you can say what you want to say about Kendra G. You might say she got messed with her too. But they are attacking another woman. So what does that mean? What does that mean? And to some of you simps, they're going to be singing Mrs. Rogers' Neighborhood because they're going to be coming to a theater near you.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
Simple. I'm not gonna sit up here walking on eggshells, talking to women when they got
Share the
crazy
stream,
shit
guys.
happening in their life because you
About
guys
to end the
are so
stream in a
freaking
minute. I gotta
sensitive.
eat.
Woman up. Maybe it's time for you to do something in your life and kind of get your shit together. Have you ever thought of that? Absolutely, there's men up here that got crazy shit going on. I talk to them every night. But guess what? Y'all in that same pool at times, but y'all don't want to admit it. So I'm over it. So if you feel as though I'm insensitive, I'm mean, and you can't handle it, my show.
And guys, you know it's a bad thing for a woman try to lead these wild hyenas to righteousness. It's a bad thing when a woman can't even lead other women. And when they can't see the difference between what's right and what's wrong. That's why we need strong churches like there was in the past, because young men, you will be a fool to waste your time on these crazy women.
Between clean and unclean, put a difference between holy and unholy. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me. There's a difference between a dog and a cat. There's a difference between a sheep and a goat. There's a difference between a son of the devil and a son of God. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me.
And a lot of these modern women, guys, who you believe in the good book in the Bible, they're sons and daughters of the devil. They're rebellious, they're hard-headed, they're stiff-necked. They won't even listen to a woman. And they use shame and language. So what do you think they would do to men like you and I? Do not waste your time dealing with some of these women, man. It's better over yonder for you single men that don't have wives. Once again, we're not saying women abroad are perfect, but the odds are a lot better. And to all the simps that want to stay in America and try to train them, have fun. Because your health and your wealth, your health is your wealth, and arguing and fighting with crazy, rebellious, brand-new women makes you a fool. Because a wise man will change, but a fool will never change.
Ain't for you, boo. Go somewhere else. I'm over it. I really am. Every single time. So, I mean, we can just keep lying and just saying, oh, you know what? That sounds good. And then what's going to happen? Ain't no change going to happen. Because when I do stuff, it really comes from a good place. Whether you understand that or not, I'm telling you this from a good place. I'm not a mean-hearted person. I really am not. But you have to give truth if you want to get results. If we keep beating around the bush, saying the same old bullshit, you're not going to get nowhere. And it's because everybody just trying to be too...
See, some will argue, guys, that Kendra G was a Kevin whisperer. Some would say that Kendra G was the Kevin whisperer. But you know, these women that used to creep, the chickens, guys, had come home to roost.
America's chickens coming home to roost.
kind, but y'all not even kind. That's what gets me. Y'all not even kind. Y'all are the meanest people in the comment section to these men on my show. But all of a sudden, when we got to talk to a woman, child, Kendra, me, I don't like watching the show. She's too insensitive. Well, guess what, bitch? Don't watch it. It ain't for you. And now that problem is solved. Because I'm going to be who I am. So that's going to be clear. And I ain't forcing you to be here. So if you can't handle it, my show ain't for you. Next.
Y'all. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to have to make this a separate clip on my channel just because I was not ready for her to give that smoke at the end. Kendra G, She's called into Kevin Samuels' show, had beef with him, all types of things with the manosphere, with Red Pill, all that. And now she is.
And whether Kendra G is doing it for clout, some could argue she's doing it for clout, and maybe she is, but it still remains that the woman is telling the truth. Because Kendra G has had beef with men in these spaces, but nonetheless, it remains the same, guys. Because hoflation is real.
Saying exactly what a lot of the men, her having to deal with women over her show. It's not the men being nasty in the comments. It's not the men calling, like she is.
Yeah, you're right, brother. Hold on, you're right. You guys are right. But listen, guys, I ain't gonna be with you for you long. I gotta go get me some. Gotta go get me some chicken, man. I'm hungry, man. I gotta get up early in the morning. I got a long day on tomorrow, guys. But thank you guys for tuning in. You guys have been so gracious on the night. To the single men that don't have wives, I will tell you guys to keep pushing forward, man. Keep pushing forward. But you guys see what I see. By 2030, 45% of women are not going to be married. By that time, if this next president is in office, the same crazy president, you're going to have more of the same. And then also, guys, a lot of these women are going to have so much debt and so much trauma for being with so many men, they're going to try to switch up. And I'm not saying it's all their fault, but it is your fault when you have men that are trying to teach you what they want and you don't want to listen to what men are saying because you're too sensitive. You're too sensitive and you don't want to self-reflect. Shout out to my man Top Gun. Top Gun say, Top Gun say, hey.
Shut up, Kosher. Shut up. Shut up, Kosher. Take it back. Shut up. Shut up, Kosher. Shut up.
All right, guys, I think we're going to end it here. I got some more good stuff coming up. I'm going to be chilling tomorrow. I got to rest, man. But you guys said, somebody said that maybe Fleece Johnson can change them. But I don't even know if Fleece Johnson can change some of these model women, guys. Maybe Fleece can change. What do y'all think?
Homosexuality.
But we have sexual desires, right? So you got a bunch of men locked up in one place. All of them get hard. All of them's horny. All of them got sexual desires. So what are they going to do? You won't let them have a woman. They gonna have somebody's gonna have to give us some booty. And it's just as simple. The booty. Booty was more important than food. Booty. A man's butt. It was more important. I'm serious. It was more booty, having some booty was more important than drinking water, man. I like booty.
Johnson went on to tell our crew how he used to satisfy his sexual desires.
Yeah. Y'all think Fleece y'all think Fleece Johnson can change these modern women?
Encourage you to say something. I'm not no shame in my game. This is nothing that I'm ashamed to admit. I am what I am. I'm a warrior too, so let that be known. I'm a warrior.
Shout out to my man, The Quiet Storm. Always showing love to that brother. The Quiet Storm said for tonight's therapy session for the 10. And then shout out to my man. Good to see the architect in the house. He's not gay no more. Yeah, he's deliberate. yeah. Some of these women need to be deliberate.
Not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men no more.
I said I like women. Women. Shout out to Andrew Caldwell. Andrew Caldwell said he's not gay no more. He's deliberate with a T, guys, not with an R, with a T. Yeah, he's deliberate. But I was going to run some more footage, guys, but I think I'm going to end it here, man. I got another good show coming up. I don't know, part of me want to run this other part, man, but I'm tired, man. I'm hungry, man. If you guys want me to play the second part, I'll play the second part. If you want me to play the second part, hit 1. If not, I'll just save it for you guys for one day this week. And I think I'll save it, guys. These have long streams are crazy. Shout out once again to my man Kevin White for the 5. Kevin White always showing love, man. Much love and blessings to Kevin White. But you know, Obsidian was talking about Cynthia G. Kendra G, I'm sorry. And he was talking about some of the things that a lot of men are struggling with and why men are checking out. So I think I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it, guys. Should I play it? If you guys want me to play it, hit 1. If not, I'll save it for another show. I think I'm going to save it for another show, guys. But anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off and get me some teriyaki chicken, man. I'm hungry, man. But I love you, brothers. If you guys have not gotten y'all tickets, go get your tickets. And shout out to Andrew Baker. Is he the #1 sponsor of the stream? Andrew Baker is the #1 sponsor of the stream. But guys, you guys haven't got your tickets, go get your tickets. Because it ain't no heaven for some of these chicken guys. It ain't no heaven for them.
Flies eat poop. Get over it. Okay? That's for you.
Yeah. Shut up, Kosher. Yeah. Shut up. Whoa. Shut up, Kosher. Ballin'. Take it back.
Like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Yeah, I'm ballin'. Like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. I put in work, couldn't wait for mine. I got 9, couldn't wait in line. Game time.
Shut up, Kosher. Shut up. Shut up, Kosher. Take it back.
And I go beast like 23, 10 toes down, glued to the concrete. And I do me, keep to myself to find my peace. Been ballin' a little bit, woke up feeling rich. Still remember days I had to grind to get a cent. Still remember days when I spent a penny pinch. Now this bank account is lit and it's up and it's stuck, just like Cardi said. Same faces around me and it's hardly friends. Saying how you do it, but you hardly did. Fibbing on the ground, yeah, you probably is. Ballin' like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Yeah, I'm ballin' like it's game time.
Shut up, Kosher. Shut up. Shut up, Kosher. Take it back.
I got 9, couldn't wait in line. Game time. Game time. Locked in when it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Pull up from the logo like it's Dame time. Same zone, so won't catch me on the same time. Time is money, so I cannot give away time.
Shut up, Kosher. Shut up. Shut up, Kosher. Take it back.
But they don't really know still. See the glow up and I can't believe the glow still. Me plus me, that's a whole lot of money. Wake up in the morning, I can smell the bag coming. 3 whole years and these records keep running. Don't talk to me if you can't match the numbers. Ballin' like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Yeah, I'm ballin' like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. I put in work, couldn't wait for mine. I got 9, couldn't wait in line. Game time, game time. Locked in when it's game time.
Shut up, Kosher. Shut up. Shut up, Kosher. Take it back.
All right, guys, we'll put it on ice. I'm going to get me some chicken, man. I'm hungry. I got to go to bed, guys. But I love you, brothers. Thank you all for tuning in. And I need you guys to understand this. If it ain't 7, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, it ain't right, guys. Signing off. Fire. Clinician.
If it ain't seven, it ain't culture. Heaven and hell, that's what they told you. Real men put the strap down and we can toss them. Young heads picking back up and young dolphins. This is our culture. Now we talking kosher. Clinician, masculinity issues. Asking fathers who miss you. Mama drama don't kiss you. All a part of the ritual. This is how they get you. Separate the men, women clipping babies pretend to. Damn. Lovers, haters acting like vultures. If it ain't seven, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us. If it ain't seven, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us. If it ain't seven, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, ain't right, gotta divorce us. This is kosher condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is kosher condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is kosher condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is kosher condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. 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 This is kosher condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is kosher condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is kosher condition. 7 wonders, the whole world gotta listen. This is
Trendsetter, I got style for you. They see you at the top and spend a while for you. Pick you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, won't stop. Yeah. I'm so handsome. All in Carmine's with my Benz, I'm so fancy. No romancing. Got my baby and she right, she make you vanish. No time to play, got book dates. Had a plan, only had to wait. Always knew I'd make a way. Send a bill, they send a pay. Keep it real, keep the record straight. Keep it real, no time to fake. All authentic in my own lane. I ain't me till I'm in the grave. Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top and spend a while for you. Pick you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. Ooh, never panic. Get a worry, send it up and then it vanish. I can't stand it. Out of order way you move and see you scrambling. On offense, no defense. Still strong, no weakness. Used to say I wouldn't beat this. Now they wish they could beat this. Table set, not tables turn. God's plan, I don't say a word. Know the price, cause I know my worth. My time, get what I deserve. Trendsetter, I got style for you. Ain't seen you at the top and spend a while for you. Pick you up and they look down on you. Take one loss, no one's around for you. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. I won't stop, no, 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 no. I won't stop, I won't stop. Tried to count me out, I'ma gon' count me in. Fill up my bank account, now I got something to spend. They tried to count me out, I'ma gon' count me in. Fill up my bank account, now I got something to spend. 5, 6, 7, 8. I just pull it out and count for nothing when I'm feeling great. Give my baby, little more, just suspended it. I'm always on go, I don't hesitate. Used to always know I make it, yeah. I'll be me until I'm in the grave, yeah. See my record, had to set it straight, yeah. I make the kid like 10 times 10. I got wires coming in, some in euros, some in sec, some in dollars, some in yen. I've been trying to keep my zen, keep my cool, trying to keep the family fed. Get my food. They tried to count me out, I'ma gon' count me in. Fill up my bank account, now I got something to spend. They tried to count me out, I'ma gon' count me in. Fill up my bank account, now I got something to spend. Did it, do it. I did it all, no gimmicks. I did it all, no fibbing. Now I got all these children, now I got all these clones. Now I got all you twinning, now I got all you thinking like all you winning. They tried to count me out, they tried to fill that doubt. They tried to ride my wig, they tried to knock me out. They tried to count my wins, they tried to show my L's. They tried to make me in, they tried, but where they now? Where they? Step in the spot and they stare at me. All of these battles will bear me. I swear that nothing compares to me. Feeling blessed, I won't stress. Beat the odds, you know the rest. They tried to count me out, I'ma gon' count me in. Fill up my bank account, now I got something to spend. They tried to count me out, I'ma gon' count me in. Fill up my bank account, now I got something to spend. Me go beast on them. I go beast. Go deep, I OD on them. I OD. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees. Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast. Go deep, I OD on them. I OD. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees. Countdown, levitate, going up, elevate. Watch me demonstrate, on time, never late. I grind, celebrate, no pump, fake, hesitate. I've been scoring every day, champagne Perrier. Since 9-3, been in the box, now I'm stepping up to home. Like straight out the sand lot, now I'm plotting on the globe. I work hard, I show love, that karma steady growing. Got this far, I go hard, let God take control. I was starving skinny, now my weight up, got no energy for haters. See you trying, see you later. I'm shooting for the stars, need no laser beam, blowing like the greatest, but it's one who's always greater. Yo, go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast, go deep, I OD on them. I OD. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. 500 degrees. Go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast, go deep, I OD on them. I OD. Apply pressure, put heat on them. Put that 500 degrees on them. Smell good, skin clear. This here my year. Hey, look up here. This here my tier. Same fit 4 days. I grind 4 ways. I play no games. All me, no blame. On the wave, my own wave. Can't stop my shine. In the lane, my own lane. Can't stop my grind. 40 yard in the V12 and like 1.5. At 19, I cleared 19 in a month, no lie. Oh God. I was starving skinny, now my weight up, got no energy for haters. See you trying, see you later. I'm shooting for the stars, need no laser beam, blowing like the greatest, but it's one who's always greater. Yo, go dummy, go beast on them. I go beast, go deep, I OD I'm a one. I'm a one-to-one, I can never be you. Low me tools, no I can't be fooled. Low me tools, no I hate these dudes. I'm a one-to-one, I can never be you. Anything you could do, I could do better. I can do better than you. Anything you could do, I could do better. I can do better than you. Drop my first single, let go, he rap. You thought it was a drought, that's cap. I get the front and I get the back. Lil Uzi the facts, like that's a rack. Bought some new boots just to wear them out. Bought a new Beamer, I run it to the ground. I used to say nothing, I bet they hear me now. Ain't no my business, no need to hear me out. Talking too much, say less. If it's less than a check, say less. If you can say it best, say less. I'm taking all best, say less. Talking too much, say less. If it's less than a check, say less. If you can say it best, say less. I'm taking.
He said it's a comedy skit.
But he didn't say it was a comedy skit. I don't know that.
But I told you I wasn't. But
okay, and I let it go.
You didn't let it go.
I'm not talking about it. You are. I don't give a fuck if you was a pimp or not.
But I don't give a. You keep asking me stupid shit.
I did not.
Why do you keep
what
asking
other
me
stupid shit do I ask you? What other stupid shit do I ask you?
Bring your fucking voice down.
No, you don't talk to me like that.
Bring your voice down.
No, you don't talk to me
you
like
bring
that.
your
You're
voice
not my
down.
daddy though.
You can leave. You
can leave.
You can leave. You can leave. There you go. No. Let her go. No. Let her go. Go ahead. Bye bye. Go. You go.
No.
There you go. No, you can leave. Go ahead.
Why are y'all doing this?
You good. We good. Thank you. Have a good day, sweetie.
What is going on? How did this
all right. No. It's good. There you go.
Oh my God. What in the world?
There you go.
What just happened?
It was time for her to bounce.
Oh my God. Maybe
I know that. Please, out of respect to minorities. What the fuck? Stop! I want to get another air right now. You punching air, probably swinging around eating some bananas. Fucking stupid bitch. Preach is crying right now, swinging from a monkey branch.
And why is she going to end up with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need. If we're going to be men, the first thing we got to do is take responsibility for why our women feel the way they feel.
I want you to listen to what this Negro has to say.
Of a white guy who married a black woman with black children. And in this video, the white guy was clowning black men and saying, you think I can't raise black boys? I raise them better than y'all do.
This is type of woke shit that I'm talking about right here that makes white men like Nick Fuentes get on the internet and be comfortable saying nigga. This is why motherfuckers like this are dangerous. And we've let these Negroes go on too long saying whatever they want to say. All this anti-black male rhetoric is what it is. This is why motherfuckers like this are dangerous. And we've let these Negroes go on too long saying whatever they want to say. All this anti-black male rhetoric is what it is.
We got too many PhDs screaming they woke. Sleep on the land and take us off for a joke. The blacks I see, immigrants, tap dancing, nigga shit. Homie, he ain't black like me. Ancestors fought and died with no guns. You hear disrespect and speak with a forked tongue. We march for togetherness. All we really seeing is a bunch of sellout motherfuckers round here don't tell the shit. Separate better shit. We don't fuck with it, trick them celibate. Tell it to the donkey and the elephant. Here for the benefits. Damn right, talking to you immigrants. Over here acting like you innocent. In your homeland, you don't fuck with blacks. But getting handouts and money off our tax. And we ain't getting shit but some feel-good talk. And young black men outlined in white chalk. Time to spark change, the kind folks see. Produced by Baz, inspired by Uncle D. Give black men a voice. They only Umars on Friday. And trust me, our doctor ain't voice. My people rejoice. My lyrics ain't shooting and killing the black man. Make a motherfucking choice. What niggas do for money, clown and act a fool. Wearing dresses, finessing money just for a school. Tell it to these coons on a plantation, made it a celebration. Everybody to Zoom, blizzard in the room. So bundle up, trick. It's cold outside and he ain't taking no shit. This is why they hate us. Blood run deep, a generation of traitors. They wanna see us weak, you ain't a part of the family. cold shoulder. Fuck you, black men ain't shit. I'm sure the world will love you. Head down long enough, 50 plus years, you yelling that we ain't strong enough. Took them benefits and ran with it, it's Mayday. Took the kids away and now they Pookie and Ray Ray. This is where we separate.
Word. Feel me? We gotta keep our black women safe. Why you got spray paint or what's the name?
Like, you keep this shit moving, bro. We don't play like that, bro.
Okay, bro. I don't bro. We don't play like that.
About, my nigga? Like, look at your van, my nigga. This is some weird shit. Don't come talking around this shit, my nigga. Like,
word. There's some other shit. What the fuck?
What's the name of the block? I don't know. Bro, get the fuck out of here, my nigga. Real shit, bro. And keep it going fast, bro.
Yo, that's some crazy. That's crazy, bro.
Get it understood, cause real black men wish a motherfucker would. So buck if you want to. On the next flight, we do whatever we want to. Blizzard King coming, everybody favorite uncle.
You got niggas with degrees enabling these motherfuckers by perpetuating these lies and negativity about black men. Most of you black men don't have kids. You ain't even got no wife. 31% of y'all are married. 51% of you don't have kids, and you're not married. That's 82% of black men who ain't did shit or are doing it the right way. It's 18% of men out there with children outside of wedlock. And of that group, they are better fathers than men of other races who are married to their women. Right. You black men are outstanding. You hear me? You are winning. Fuck what these PhD ass niggas are saying. You are winning. You are doing a great fucking job, especially considering what you had to do and deal with historically. Especially that. Nobody's saying that. These lying motherfuckers, man.
Dennis Sperling. This person has been negatively targeting black women negatively on social media. And it seems as though ever since Kevin Samuels died, he's been trying to, I don't know if he wants to be the next Kevin Samuels, if he wants to be the next person who's famous for disparaging black women and for making someone try to feel a certain way, particularly black women.
First they had Weight Watchers, now you got hate watchers. Let's get it. This is for my lovely young ladies like I hate. Blizzard King, Dennis Sperling. First let's get the record straight. I say it online, I can say it to your face. Not a bully, I'm just mean, know what I mean, no debate. It's time to put some motherfucking knowledge on your plate. Excuse me if I'm vulgar, but a king ain't sweet like cake. Holding court, live in court, ladies, you just need a taste of what we've been through. Judge will set you up for grape. And I ain't talking no more, I will not put on a cape. I do not confuse shit, we all gotta face reality. You woofing on your men like you an ape. My job is protecting black men up in this space, and also putting rude bitches back up in their place. Cross-examination, I look good to the race. Man, be a man, nigga, say it with your chest. Cause soft-spoken men, these lovely ladies don't respect. I can care less, I do not do this for checks. I do this for my sons and the black men I invest. It's time to get what I was, ladies, gotta pay your debt. You working with the same men who put it round our necks. You're not my sister, not my kind, you a threat. When the weather change, I hope you bitches feel dead. Let this be reminders to the ones who disrespect. We are God's chosen men. When you say Jesus, you mean us.
The only Jesus I know is him, and the one thing he don't need is a partner.
Shut the fuss, we discuss with your fuckery. Past 100 years, you ain't loving me. Who was on the front line fighting? Yeah, fuck is me. Building all them black towns? Yeah, fuck is me. Kicking riots off Michael Brown? Yeah, fuck is me. Now you wanna put us underground? Not to fuck with me. Change your plans, baby, you can be replaced. Let freedom reign. No sunny white days, Martin Luther King. Single mama program chip for the simp queen. Mother goddess only gon' destroy us. It's the Blizzard King. Blizzard King. It's the Blizzard King. Hate watch on the Blizzard King. It's the Blizzard King. It's the Blizzard King. Hate watch on the Blizzard King. It's It's the Blizzard King. It's the Blizzard King. Yeah. Hate watch on the Blizzard King.
That's the bad guy. So say good night to the bad guy.